Hi guys, this is Ron Ryder, and today I would just like to discuss my new steed. This is my new Cervelo S3, my custom build. I acquired this via warranty, so I just wanted to take a sec to thank my bike shop, Swim Bike Run, for making this transition as easy as possible. I also wanted to thank Derby Cycles, which is the Australian distributor, for making this as easy as possible, and also, of course, Cervelo. So let's talk a little bit about the frame. Cervelo, a little known company from Toronto, Ontario, my hometown. Go Canada! This frame itself is kind of known as one of the best all-around aero bikes. So yes, it's aerodynamic, but it's not too heavy. Fairly light. I think it comes in around 1 kilo, so 1,000 grams. But it's really stiff, but yet it's compliant. So it has that lateral stiffness that you really look for, but it has a bit of vertical compliancy, so it's not so rigid and jarring when you ride it. So it's actually a really smooth ride. The down tube here has the roval shaping, it's called, which is what gives it its aerodynamics. A nice stiff front fork with a very thin profile, so that actually also gives you a good bit of aero and lots of stability and stiffness. And then down here you have the big BB Right bottom bracket, which is synonymous with Cervelo, and it is beefy and stiff, and the power transfer is second to none, so I love that. And then it's also got the really nice thick beefy chain stays, so that also has great power transfer through the rear. But what I really love about what they did is they used a bit of their R series rear end, and they kept the thin seat stays, which is really good and stiff, but again, it's got a good bit of lateral compliancy, so it is more comfortable and less jarring on the rear end than most of your aerodynamic bikes. So that's what I really loved about this, and so it adds some comfort, and it's actually quite a good climbing bike also. Does really well on the climbs. So what makes this bike obviously a lot different than your standard S3 is the components and the way I built it up. So yeah, the first thing I guess we can talk about is the group sets. I have the wireless electronic SRAM eTap. So the rear derailleur and the front derailleur, which are both wireless, they have two little battery packs right here, and those are what you use. You can interchange them, so if the rear dies on you for some reason, you can switch it with the front, and vice versa, and get yourself home. But that should never happen because you have lots of ample. There is a little red or a little LED light down here that flashes green, and flashes green on this one also when the battery is fine, and then it goes red when the battery needs to be charged, but it gives you 16 hours till the time you can charge it, and then it starts to flash red when you have about 6 hours left, so you can definitely get yourself home. And it only takes 45 minutes to charge these batteries. You know, the shifting is great, very accurate. You use your right paddle when you want to shift down the cassette, use your left paddle when you want to shift up the cassette, and you press both of the paddles at the same time when you want to shift the front derailleur. But what is great about it also, and I wouldn't necessarily recommend this, but you can actually shift the front derailleur and the rear derailleur at the same time, and I'll admit I do that sometimes because it's just so handy. You could just, flick them both together and then say let go of the left side and it'll move to the right, and vice versa. You flick them together, let go of the right side, it'll move to the left, so it'll shift the front and the rear derailleur at the same time. So really rapid shifting. You can shift it under load too. If you're putting the power down, you can still shift it. It shifts smoothly. I couldn't get it to go wrong or to fail so far anyway. You can also fine tune it on the fly. So if one of your gears isn't locking in perfectly, there are two little function buttons on the paddle. So if you want it to micro adjust by, I think it's 0.2 mil to the right, you just click the function button and click your paddle at the same time, and it just does little micro adjustments, so you can do it on the fly. I've got the blips on here, so you can, I don't know if you can see it, but there's these little bumps here. So if you're in sprints or if you're descending and you want to shift your gears, You just need to push on these things. And it's amazing because you do need to do it quite hard. They made it so I guess you can't shift by accident. But you do need to give them quite a hard push. But I'm starting to get used to them now. So I'm really liking it. I've got a left and right. Works the same way where you click the right one, shifts down, click the left one, shifts up the cassette, and you push them both in together and it switches the front derailleur. So love those. And they actually plug in. That's the only part of the system that has wires. They plug in to the hoods. And yeah, you can use 4, so you can also have them down here, and you can also have them up here for climbing if you want. I have the Sram Red 22 brakes, which are great. They have a little bit of play in them, which is what I like. So you can actually, if it's rubbing a little bit on your rim, because it has that play, it won't rub too hard. It has some give. So you can also adjust your brakes really close to your rim, which is how I like to ride them. So that's a really, really good plus, and they just brake so solidly. Speaking of braking, I might as well talk about these Mavic Cosmic Pro carbon wheels, 50 mil, with the Exolith braking system. So it's an aluminum rim with a carbon fairing, but it's an Exolith, it's called, braking system, which is, again, synonymous to Mavic. And it's amazing. It brakes really, really well because I've been riding full carbon wheels for quite a while now, and with my weight, braking is scary. So to go to this Exolith braking system, it's amazing. So I'm loving these wheels. Nice and stiff also, so they're actually quite good for climbing. They're nice and aerodynamic, being 50 mil deep. And actually weight-wise are quite good. They come in at about 1,500 grams. So for an aero wheel, really good. I have the Speedplay Pave pedals, looking slightly different from your standard Speedplays. They're actually more they were designed for the Paris-Roubaix. These paves and the shape that they have kind of clears the dirt away from your cleat. So you just kind of step down on it hard, tends to clear the dirt off your cleat, and you're in, and you can get out anytime. So I really like them. They're the titanium, so they're really light. I can't remember. I think it was 90 grams or something ridiculous like that. So extremely light. This saddle, this is the Selle SMP Stratos saddle. I've been recommended this saddle before, but I just thought they're kind of ugly and they're heavy, and so I didn't go for one. But I've borrowed this one when I was waiting to get this bike from my bike mechanic. Adrian, you're the best. And he loaned me his, and after the first ride, I was amazed how comfortable it was. And he had one that had no padding. This thing was rock hard. And I went out for a 5-hour day, and I started getting a bit uncomfortable by the end, but I was just like, my first day on this thing, I'm not even used to it, and I'm only getting a little uncomfortable after 120 kilometers. I don't care how ugly this thing is or how much it weighs, it is so amazingly comfortable. So yeah, I'm sold. If anybody out there is having a struggle with their saddles with comfort, give one of these a try, because again, they may not be the best looking things in the world, but they are so comfortable. Really happy with it. So yeah, that's basically it. Overall, I think this setup that I have weighs about 7.5 kilos. So again, not the lightest bike in the world, but not the heaviest bike in the world either, especially for an aero bike. This is one of the lighter aero bikes you'll see, and it is such a great all-arounder. You can be in the saddle all day with this thing and be fine. And again, great aero, good sprinter, great for racing, great all-around bike. I can't say enough about how happy I am with this. And I just thought I would also say that I know there's people out in the world starving, and and here we are with our $10,000 bikes and all this kind of stuff. I just wanted to say, look, I'm humbled and honored to ride this bike, and I do really appreciate the fact that not everybody out there obviously can afford one. I'm not rich by any means, okay? I've just kind of acquired this over the years. Obviously, with my last frame breaking, I was able to get this one free of charge, and just with a little help from my friends, I guess, I was able to gain a few little things, and so I'm really am humbled to ride this bike. So you know what? Get out there, ride, have fun, the bike doesn't matter. It's, you know, there's guys who out there who ride $100 bikes that can blow me away. So, you know, it's not necessarily going to make you a faster rider. It's just comfortable and fun. Love getting out there. So, yeah, thanks so much for watching. If you like this video, well, please give it a like and subscribe. It'd really be greatly appreciated. Help me support and my startup YouTube channel. And yeah, I'll be coming with more videos. A lot of them are, you know, how-tos with descending and, you know, rolling turns, riding in groups. I'll review a few things here and there, but this is just a platform to get out there. I love cycling. I'm addicted, and I'm sure all of you are too. So get out there and ride, and thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you soon.